All right. So my guest of honor is a man with a heart of gold that loves to pour into the youth and the community. He puts on for his city by supporting others through his annual back to school drive and toy drive. He's currently working as a higher education advisor where he helps high school students gain access to college and assist them in developing their postgraduate plans. He's a serial entrepreneur that serves as the marketing executive for the Business Association of Fort Worth. He's the owner and CEO of Red Krown Clothing and Accessories, as well as Krown Klub, which is an e-commerce site. He's a UTA graduate and one of my favorite members of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. My guest of honor is James Elems. How you doing, James?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How has COVID been treating you?
Oh man, it's been crazy. I don't think I've ever been in the house this much, like ever in my life.
Right. We're not
But
used to this life.
not at all. But I'm definitely trying to stay safe out here. Um, I think I actually got offended the other day. I tried to shake somebody's hand just off of uh reflex. I'm just used to introducing myself like that. He kind of looked at me like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's it's still real out here." So
Like, I forgot. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Have you do you feel like your mindset going into this year has shifted due to all of this?
Um, yes, because I think it made me grow. It made me think outside the box. Um, just with being, like I said, confined to the home space, it definitely made me grind a lot harder. Because I saw a lot of businesses starting to fall and close, and me trying to be an entrepreneur, I knew I couldn't let that happen to myself. I wasn't gonna let my business fail. So
Right.
it pushed me to, try and find different ways to market, find different ways to invest, and really just grow myself as a business person.
Yeah. I think you were ahead of the curve by creating an e-commerce site. So you were ready for COVID anyway. Like,
Yes,
gonna spend
definitely.
money, they gonna spend it with you.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, online shopping is really becoming one of the biggest things. So, yeah, that's why I tried to boost my e-commerce site as much as possible. The only thing that started to suck about that was just the shipping times.
Yeah.
They became very long. I try to do my best with community service. I try to tell all Black entrepreneurs we have to do, our community service has to be 10 times better than any other service,
Hmm.
one to keep our customer service, to keep our customer base. And, we've always had to be, twice as better just to be seen as average. So,
Yeah, absolutely true. Can you tell me a little bit about all of your brands? Because you got a lot going on. You busy.
yeah, Red Crown clothing came from the Red Crown stands for the blood of Jesus and the crown of thorns that he wore on the cross when he was crucified. So with my clothing, I really try to give back through a lot of community service. Anything I'm able to do to uh, help just people in my community. I've done scholarships this past year. Um, I've done all types of things. I love helping people. Um, Krown Klub is my e-commerce site where I sell clothing, accessories. I have ebooks, I have jewelry. I'm really trying to, kind of mold it into a, kind of like an Amazon type platform. I'm still working on a lot of behind the scenes things, but as time goes on, I'm definitely trying to grow that.
That sounds amazing. I love the name too.
Thank you.
I've heard it before, but they didn't know, so I had to let them know.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
The meaning behind the name is amazing. Um, how did you know you wanted to become an entrepreneur? Or how did you get into this?
I started working at a young age, and I think I knew very quickly I didn't want to work for somebody else all my life.
Hmm.
Um, and then I was in the eighth grade when I took a business class, and I learned that entrepreneurs was, just a career type. I never knew what it was before, but I learned that entrepreneurship was a career type.
Mm-hmm.
And out of all the career types, entrepreneurship had like the highest salary. It was like, well, on average, it was like $1 million. And like I said, this is way back in like 2005. But
Mm-hmm.
I knew that wasn't, every entrepreneur, but that was just to see that I was like, wow, I'm an entrepreneur. I could possibly be making like $1 million. So I was
Yeah.
like, hey, eventually, I'm gonna get there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really kind of motivated me. But once I graduated from college and I started getting into corporate America, that's when I, really just confirmed like, hey, nah, this not for me.
This ain't it, bro. This ain't
you
it.
know, this ain't for me.
That's so crazy. Yeah, I think most entrepreneurs go through the corporate America route, or you can't get in. So you're like, I gotta build something because I don't want to have to deal with these people. So
Yeah, it's crazy because we go to college for so long, and what I'm starting to see nowadays is people have college degrees and they're not even working in the field that their degrees in. Like
yep.
me, my degree is in criminal justice, and I work with kids. So
Right.
I mean, we're going to college and incurring all this debt just to come out and do something totally different. So
Yeah. Times have changed so much. Like I think it's important that we expose the youth to different options and let them know that they have options. 'Cause our generation, they just said go to school, right? It
yes,
wasn't like go to work. It's like school, military, or go to work.
yeah.
Nothing else. There was no other option. So I think it's amazing that you discovered that in the classroom. Like discover entrepreneurship in the classroom.
Most definitely. And I think a lot of the things that like you said, we were pushed to go to school,
Mm-hmm.
but the other things that they didn't push on us was like learning a trade. Um, Trades are starting to pay, more than bachelor's degrees nowadays.
Absolutely.
So I think it's very important to explore each and every avenue, post high school. You know,
Mm-hmm. How are you using that knowledge to help the kids that you work with?
I'm able to share with them a lot of experiences. I think that's what's helped me best with these kids because I work with I mainly work with the seniors,
Mm-hmm.
um, and they used to think I was going to be a problem because I look so young, so they thought they was going to think I was a kid and all that type of stuff. Which I mean, the admin think I'm a kid, but it helps me with working with the students because I'm relatable
Yeah.
and I teach them certain things like, hey, I did this and I'm gonna encourage you not to do it this way because these were my results.
Right.
So it's really been able to, help those kids and, keep them from making the same mistakes that I made.
Yeah. I tell you all the time that your story is going to unlock the door for so many people, like especially the youth, because you are relatable. Like they see themselves in you. So that's good that you use that time to do that with them and try to help them out a lot. I'm sure you're one of the main people that they trust too because
Oh
you're
yeah,
relatable. Yeah.
most definitely. They'll come to me with a lot of stuff before they go to any other admin. And I mean they just the admin always wonders like why are these kids always in your room? And it's like because one I also help them with more than just school.
Mm-hmm.
I help them with like different things they got going on in life.
Yeah.
So I just try to be a good person and help them with any and every aspect of life that I can help with.
Yeah. That is definitely the key. I'm glad you're pointing to the youth. We need them to do more than eat Tide Pods. We need them to do,
Yes.
do some
Most
major
definitely,
things.
because they had me scared for a minute. I didn't I
Just a
didn't know
little
what the
bit.
future was holding.
I was like, but I'm gonna be 60 and y'all gonna still be doing stuff like this? I'm confused.
Like I was worried for a minute, but I think they're starting to get better, and I think they're starting to get more involved with what's going on in today's world. So
True.
they're doing better.
That's good. Well, tell me about your journey through college. Talk about that a little bit. How do we get this James that's in front of us right now?
And my journey through college was it was pretty rough. My my freshman year, I almost flunked out. I made it out of fall semester with like a 2.0 on a dot, and then next semester it was like I think I made like a 1.5, so I had a 1.9 cumulative, and
Hmm.
that's when I knew they could take your financial aid away from for
They
not having
can,
good grades.
and they will.
Yes, ma'am. So they snatched my financial aid, and I was on SAP for what? Well, no, before that I couldn't get financial aid, so um, I was trying to get a grade exclusion, but you had
Hmm.
to be taking a class to get a grade exclusion. So I tried to save up some money and actually ended up talking to one of my great aunts who helped me pay for a college class out of pocket summer class. It was about $1,000 at the time.
Ooh.
So yeah, so I paid for that class, got my grade exclusions, made a good grade in that class. So that was my uphill journey ever since. I think for like the next 2 years, I was still struggling with getting my financial aid because they kept putting me back on SAP,
Hmm.
and then I kept I went to school year round like the first 3.5 years of college. I was going fall, winter, spring, summer, just
Ooh.
kept going, because I was behind and trying to stay on track at the same time.
Yeah.
So I kept going. Dropped classes. I used all my grade exclusions. I went through everything incomplete, having to finish college classes on the back end. Like I did a lot. Um, and then it finally got to the point where me and my advisor, we was like, hey, let's try and make this best way possible. Like let's try and get you out of here. So it was definitely interesting, but I made it through.
Hmm.
uh I was I cried when I was done because it was just it was hard. It
Yeah.
was harder than I thought it was going to be. I wasn't really prepared for college when I got to college. Like I didn't have good study habits. um I was still a big procrastinator. um Time management wasn't there, organization. I also worked,
Hmm.
so I didn't have as much time as a normal college student. So I was working and trying to go to college, and then having different relationships in college. Like I was trying to juggle so much, and it was it took a toll here and there, but I made it out.
Yeah. Don't feel bad. I was in that 1.9 club too. Now we entrepreneurs, so it don't even
Yep.
matter.
No, I mean, hey, they once you get out, hey, I mean, my money don't care what GPA I had.
My mom was happy. She was just like, get out. I was trying to get out. It's a
Yeah.
lot harder than people think. I think sometimes people think that it's just gonna be an easy road. Like if I did good in high school, I'm gonna do great in college. And that's not always the case. It's a different level and a different
No, because
mindset that you have to have.
I was great in high school. I was like
Yeah,
top 10%.
exactly.
All that. Like high school was the easy part. Got to
Hmm.
college, I was like, oh no, this ain't the same. I can't I can't get by doing my homework without reading and stuff like that. Like in high school,
Mm-mm.
I think I barely did my homework. I was just smart and passed. Like, but no, I
Yeah.
couldn't do that in college.
That's all right though. So, what advice would you give somebody that's about to take on that challenge or that's navigating through? What would you tell them that they need to do?
Um, First thing is try to get as many scholarships and grants as possible. Um, that way you don't have to work the way I did. When
Hmm.
you have more time to dedicate to your studies, I think college is a lot easier.
Hmm.
Um, Focus. I definitely wasn't focused. I think my first day of school, I went to a party and I partied that first week. Like I went to a party every day the first week of school. Like I think I really came to college for like all the wrong reasons. Like
Look,
I
it's
came for the
okay.
social aspect. But yeah, definitely focus. I mean, everything that you want to experience is going to be there. You will have the time to experience it.
Hmm.
Um, and three, just make sure you're learning something that you can see yourself doing long term, and
Yeah.
that you feel like you'll be passionate about. Because at a
Yeah.
certain point, in my I was in my degree plan. I got to a point where I felt like I wasn't going to be able to use my degree, and I was halfway right, but I was so far in that I couldn't really turn back and change it to something else. So I would have been in school even longer.
Yeah.
So definitely just think think far ahead once you get started into your actual degree plan. So
Please plan for your life for 10 years, not just tomorrow.
man, for real, because it was around I graduated in 2015, but it was around the back end of it was around like 2014 when I was like, the height of all the unarmed shootings of young African American men.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of that, the police brutality, all of that was just, really starting up. And I was like, man, this me being a criminal justice is like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. So, but I was, like I said, I was too late.
Yeah.
I was almost done at that point. So,
Do you feel like you use any of the skill sets that you learned in school? Like any of the
um,
skills?
I use some of them. Definitely, my note taking got
Hmm.
better. Um, with joining my fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, I learned a lot of different skills with going through that process.
Hmm.
Um, my ability to listen to more than one person is definitely there. My time management got better. My ability to think and be my ingenuity was just it was different.
Yeah.
I looked more at what I did have versus what I didn't have, and I always had to find a way. That's the biggest thing. I think that's definitely one of the steps, to becoming a man is making sure you know how to survive and always finding a way.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing, for last I don't know how many years. It's just making sure I always find a way, no matter what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna make it happen. So.
Yeah. So let's talk about um making it happen. Would you say that your relationship with God is a big part of your process? Or is that like your anchor?
Yes, most definitely. Seeing as for a long time I've been trying to grow and get better with my relationship with God.
Hmm.
Um, I was definitely at some point, my mental health wasn't the best. So when I actually got on the path of trying to, better that, faith was one of the biggest things that I had to turn to.
Hmm.
Um, and like I said, God has brought me through a lot of things, and I
Hmm.
know I wouldn't have the things that I have now without Him.
Yeah.
Um, I always try to do things on my time. I try to make it my plan, and you know that wasn't how it was supposed to be. God has everything planned out for us, so all I could do is pray to Him to order my steps, and make sure I fulfill everything that He places in front of me. So.
Yeah. What would you say to a kid that is struggling to balance like their Christianity and trying to be cool at the same time? Because it seems like our kids want to be connected and they want to be in tune with God, but they feel like the world is pulling them. So, what would you say to that kid that needs that help finding
Um,
balance?
one, focus on the one that's gonna matter the most.
Hmm.
Um, you know, God definitely doesn't want you to shame Him in front of your friends
Yeah.
because He will shame you. But I definitely think definitely find your own way, and to your path with God, your relationship with God.
Yeah.
Um, I know when we were younger, a lot of religion was forced upon us. We
Yeah.
were forced to go to church, and the people that we kind of looked up to in the church weren't always the best of people. So once we got older and started seeing these types of things, we kind of shied away from the church a little bit. At least the physical aspect. I know a lot of people stopped physically going to church, but still, will watch online and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's important to find your own relationship with God, and definitely do things, you know, in a nature that you will think He will want you to.
Mm-hmm.
But don't I wouldn't stray away just because you think it's not cool. Um,
Right.
like I said, just do what's eventually gonna matter in the end.
Couldn't agree more. Definitely agree. Tell me a little bit about your role as the marketing executive for the Business Association of Fort Worth.
So with the Business Association of Fort Worth, we're trying to make that a bigger thing than what like the Black Chamber of Commerce. We're trying to move on those type of lines, but make it even bigger.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have the Black Wall Street, and that's like something that we're really trying to grow and make happen again. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like we do have the power to do that. And being a part of this organization, I never knew how many different Black business owners we had in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Um, I've seen and grown and gotten to meet so many different people that it's crazy. Um, so with me being a marketing executive, I find different ways for us to try and promote our different events, the different things that we have going on. Um, I try to encourage us to market different types of ways that will bring our audiences together and kind of just shed light upon everything that we're doing. We do have a commercial. We do have an Instagram page, Facebook page, things of that nature. Um, we're really trying to grow as a business. So like I said, I find different ways to really just put our business and our brand out there.
That's dope. I love that. And I love our city.
Definitely. Hey,
I feel like we
forever.
we have to battle with Dallas so much.
Yeah, like I got tired of that at one point. I really never noticed, Dallas as much until I got to college, because
Yeah.
that's where a lot of people were going.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I was just, I was always just so Fort Worth. Anytime I go to Dallas, like I'm still
Always.
that way. Like I
Always.
work in Dallas, but they know I'm Fort Worth to the end. So
It's an insult to be like, you from Dallas? No, I'm from Fort Worth.
no.
It's not the same.
Like I tell people, like Dallas and Fort Worth don't even touch. Like
It
there's so
don't.
many cities in between.
For real, we're
But
different. It's different.
but they love to throw out that DFW, and I was like, no, it's a dash in there.
Y'all being lazy. But yeah. I feel like Fort Worth has the opportunity to do a lot of major things because there hasn't really been very many people from our city that's like went on to do like massive things. And if they do, they claim Dallas. So it's very interesting how that works. But I'm excited to see what you do because I know that whatever you do, you're gonna rep Fort Worth. So
Oh
that makes
yeah,
me happy.
that's I'm definitely going to be authentic with myself, and yeah, it's everybody knows it's forever forward. But I think the things that I want to do and the things that other people want me to do, um, they're I'm not sure how I want to say it, but it's just weird. Because I have been approached like a couple of times for being they want me to be city council in Fort
Mhm.
Worth.
Mhm.
Um, but with doing that, I know myself. I know how I speak. I know how I express my thoughts. I know
Mhm.
who I am. So for me to take that position, I know I won't be, you know, the normal or average city council person or somebody that step into like local politics, stuff like that. I won't be the average local politician, stuff like that.
Might be
I
what we
think I
need
would.
though.
Yeah, I know. That's what people have been telling me. Maybe we need somebody to bring that type of change, and I
Mhm.
don't know if people are ready for the type of change that I would bring. So,
They'll
um,
catch up.
Yeah. So it's definitely interesting to see, the things that I want to do and the things that people want me to do.
Yeah.
Um, Hopefully, they'll align at some point. But until then, I'm definitely going to be me in everything that I do.
What would you say people need to do to get active in Fort Worth?
Um, Start going to these city council meetings. For one, we gripe about a lot of things that need change, but the first step starts with going to actual meetings and stuff like that, being informed on what's actually going on in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to the mayor. I've been to the mayor's office a couple of times to try and implement some things into the city. Um, Start actually knowing who runs your city. A lot of people
Mm-hmm.
don't know who their city council person is for their district. Um, so that's first and foremost, and then really just trying to make a change. I know Fort Worth was one of the cities that had a few peaceful protests when everybody was doing the George Floyd protests.
Mm-hmm.
Get out there and actually see it, experience it. Um, it's a lot different. The feeling once you actually go and you're in that climate is different, and
Mm-hmm.
you can take a lot away from it. You see a lot of things differently once you go. So um, that's that's some of the biggest things is actually just getting out on the street and doing what you say you want to do, or being the change that you want to see.
Yeah, I can agree with that for sure. Well, I have to ask you, how do you define success and happiness?
That's a good one. I define success as being at a point where you no longer really worry about life struggles. You're comfortable financially, you're comfortable physically. Whether it be where you live, what you drive, how you dress, anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
how you look. Um, Happiness is a point where you, I guess, hmm, that's a hard one because I don't think I've ever really just really thought about what true happiness is.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to think that it's the point of where you feel free,
Mm-hmm.
um, whether you're free mentally, free physically. You can really just enjoy life and not worry, not be stressed.
Mm-hmm.
You're really just you're no longer surviving, you're actually living. So
Yeah.
I think
Don't just
that's what,
survive, thrive.
yeah. So I think that's what happiness and success will look like.
Okay. So, do you believe your purpose is a journey or a destination?
Um, I believe it's a journey
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like what I'm destined to do never ends. So
Yeah.
I can never reach a destination because it's always ongoing. I feel like my passion, and I was placed on this earth to help people, so there will always be somebody to help.
Mm-hmm.
So as I go through life, my journey is to help as many people as I can.
Yeah. I always say when service and purpose collide, that's when your happiness truly happens. Because it's like you understand that somebody needs you, like your existence is important, and you're actually working towards a goal. That's what I always say. As long as
Most definitely.
service and purpose is colliding, you should be good.
Yeah, I agree.
And my last question for you would be, if you knew then what you know now, would you change anything?
Um, I would change one thing, and that would probably be what I went to school for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's maybe if I would have went to school. Um, because if you would have told me before graduating high school, some of the richest people never went to college, I probably would have rethought some things. um,
For real.
but I don't think I would have went to school for criminal justice, even though that is something I'm still interested in. I just at the time I didn't really know you didn't need a criminal justice degree to do things in criminal justice.
Yeah, you're gonna
Um,
use it though.
yeah, eventually,
Hmm.
I still believe I'm eventually going to use it. Um, but I think I probably would have went to school for something in business.
Hmm.
Um, at the time where I thought about making business management my minor, um, that still would have added too many classes to my degree plan. So I was like, nah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably would have went to school for something in business, and probably it probably would have helped me in my entrepreneurial journey a lot sooner.
Hmm.
So that probably would have put me in a different on a different path. But you know, I wouldn't change anything else. Things that happened in my life the way they happened. Everything was a life lesson and great experience that I learned from. So that all created me and molded me to be the person I am today. So
That's so good. I'm so proud of you,
I appreciate it.
James. Thank you
A
so
lot
much
of
for
people
coming
don't
on.
know that you are one of the biggest reasons and motivators that I have.
Oh,
You helped me with a lot, like starting off as an entrepreneur. And that's why anytime I get an interview or anytime people ask me about my journey towards being an entrepreneur, I always make sure I put your name in there because I know starting out I used to call and text you a lot like, hey, what's this, how you do this, and um, and I still have resources from you that I use to this day and that I pass on to other people. So
oh man.
I always want people to know that Miss Katrina Williams is one of my biggest, people in my life that helped me get to where I am now. So
Oh, that makes me so happy, James. Like you have no idea. And honestly, I'm just doing like you say you like to help people. Y'all allow me to live my dreams by helping other people too. So I appreciate that.
no problem.
Well, we're gonna take over Fort Worth and
Most
then
definitely.
we're gonna make sure we put some people on and we're gonna keep making this thing go.
As always.
All right, James, thank you so much.
No problem. You have a good one.
You too. Bye.